What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Daily Dose. Before we get started, make sure you hit subscribe right there so you get notifications whenever we drop videos. My name is Teddy Mora.
Hola, I'm Melissa Rios.
And today, we are doing something for the Barbs. We're talking about Nicki Minaj.
Hey, Nicki. So, in a recent interview, Birdman said that he thinks that Nicki Minaj doesn't get enough credit for changing the game for female rappers. So, I'm going to go ahead and read what he said. Okay. I come in an era when females, it was hard for them. Nicki broke the cycle for females. Nicki did more than any female artist ever. And you have a lot of great artists before Nicki Minaj. But Nicki Minaj changed the game for females. And I think it's important that he said that there were a lot of great artists before her, because a lot of times people jump in right away and say, well, what about this person or what about that person? And so he made sure to be inclusive, but however, he wants to give Nicki her flowers, and she deserves them, especially now that she's still alive, because we've seen a trend of people that are no longer with us, and then it's like, oh, they were great. Oh, they changed the game. Oh, they did this. And it's just kind of why not give her flowers while she's still here?
But when we say there were great artists before her, I mean, it literally was eras before her, because in the 2000s, unless I'm tripping, and maybe you guys can let me know down below, which female artist was really killing the game in that 2000s era? I mean, the last one I can remember before Nicki Minaj was Lauryn Hill. So as far as female rappers go,
well, you had Trina, you had Lil' Kim.
Again,
you had
you did. You know what? You're right.
Missy Elliott. I mean, you had people who were in the game, I think.
But they were never at the top of the game.
Well, what happens is Nicki Minaj took it pop a little. She introduced other people into the rap game.
So all those women you mentioned, I mean, they were great in the era, especially Missy. Let's not forget about Missy and what she did. But Nicki was at the top of the game regardless of gender.
Right.
You know, she had great success with and when she first came out. I think Pink Friday did great. I think it's double platinum. And she came out in an era where she was really the only one at that time. In 2009, 2010, there was no Missy. Trina wasn't releasing albums or working. If she was, it wasn't getting as much buzz as Nicki was. I just hate that for some reason we always had to compare Nicki to another artist, right? Not just Cardi, but every other female artist that came out. It's oh, okay. They expected, you wanted to compare both of them, and then you also wanted to pin them against each other. Either if Nicki didn't acknowledge a female rapper coming up, then she hated her. That should never happen in the male side, though. It was cool when Jay-Z acknowledged Drake or J. Cole or Kendrick, but he didn't have to do that. Nicki is forced to acknowledge other rappers, female rappers, because then she's either hating on them or, she oh, they got beef.
But I think as a woman, it's nice to see her. I see what you're saying when the media does that. However, there's so few of us that if we stick together, like Doja Cat said it would be better. So it's important to address the other females in the room, because when you walk into a room full of men and there's only another girl there, you have to go and talk to the girl, because we're a team. We're the only girls here.
Yeah,
so I think that's what people mean by addressing or by talking about. But I think Nicki definitely had her moment, and she definitely is. She kind of is one of the best to ever do it.
Listen, first of all, in the last 10 years, she probably had, I don't even know if this song came out in 2009 or 10, but in the last 10 years, she probably had one of the best commercial verses of, in that era with the Monster verse. She was on a song, that song was with Jay-Z and Kanye, and she probably had the best verse. That's speaking a lot on her. We're not talking about gender. In this era, in the last 10 years, she's done more in hip-hop than most people. And she crossed over flawlessly into the pop world. She has songs with David Guetta, Ariana Grande, and the list goes on and on. Now she even has a song with Karol G, dipping into the reggaeton lane.
Which is crazy wild, let me tell you, on my side of town. Birdman also said, one thing they say is numbers don't lie, and her numbers speak for themselves. So I would like to request un aplauso.
So we want to know down below, is Birdman right? Does Nicki Minaj get enough credit when it comes to her being an artist in the game? I know we like to pin people together.
I don't think she gets enough credit.
I tend to think that she doesn't, because again, what she did in the rap game the last decade has to be applauded and recognized more, instead of who is Nicki beefing with now?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we can have a discussion about who's the better artist in a different video. We're not going to do that right now. Does Nicki get enough credit for being an artist?
Do you believe that she is one of the best to ever do it?
Or do you think she gets just the right amount of credit? It's up to you. Let us know down below. We'll catch you tomorrow, baby. It's the Daily Dose. Shout out to the Barbs, too. Just comment all over. Just go crazy, Barbs. Just do your thing.